Well, for the second episode of Season 3 of The Mandalorian, Din Djarin and Grogu journey to the mines of Mandalore. The fact that they're already there, I kind of thought that would be like the end point maybe for the series. But now they jumped right to it. Because I thought he would get, caught up in trying to find the part for the droid and all that stuff. Ends up going with R5-D4. Remember him, the red astro droid that blew up, and so Luke picked R2-D2 instead. Probably because of the Force wanted him to. But gee, where's that guy been? Well, he's still on Tatooine, which Mando goes to get a tune-up for his starfighter, and to find the part for IG, and yeah, that didn't happen. So he gets that instead. Because he's got to go to Mandalore, and he needs a droid to scan the atmosphere and see if the air's breathable for him and little Grogu to walk around in, And then, of course, there's that business of him having to bathe in that water. And apparently IG-11 was capable of snorkeling. So he's going to have him swim down there and all that. Well, that didn't work out. So at first I thought, because that seems like how the first episode was set up, that, he's got to find the part for IG and all that. And no. And it doesn't really do that at all. Or maybe he will for some other reason. But he's already on Mandalore. So of course, there's some... problems to deal with. So he gets there and he's attacked by Morlocks. That's pretty much what they are. They're even subterranean and all this type of stuff. But, Star Wars borrowed from a lot of old sci-fi stuff like Flash Gordon and John Carter. And now Time Machine. So it's not that big of a deal, but it's, So at first I was wondering, are these the mutated Mandalorians who remained? But no, they were already there. Whether they're further mutated, I don't know. But everything, it's all in ruins and devastated from the attack from the Empire. And so, boy, I tell you, this episode, the phrase slow burn is used a lot these days, but this was more slow than burn. They wander around, and he walks right into a trap. He finds an old Mandalorian helmet. This catches his eye. He looks at it, and it's all a trap. He gets wrapped up inside some giant spider-looking, what seems to be a droid. But it's actually a vehicle controlled by a creature inside another sort of, cybernetic body, shades of Grievous, I suppose. Because there's something organic in there. There's this eyeball thing in there. And I don't know if this is some guy, all that's left of him is his eyeball. But anyway, he captured Din Djarin, and Grogu's following him, and he's all scared, but he says, "Go get Bo-Katan." And that's what he does. He zips back to the ship, he gets R5 to pilot it, and off they go. And she's still sitting on her throne in her empty house, all depressed and stuff. And she thinks it's, Din coming back. And she's like, don't ever want to see you again. I'm pissed and all this stuff. But it's Grogu instead. So she's like, huh. So she goes over there and she saves the day. She makes short work of the Morlocks, just whips their ass. Which is like, well, why couldn't Din Djarin do his better? I mean, granted, they kind of got the drop on him. They ambushed him. But still, yeah, I think we know why. And then he's being drained of his blood by this creature. And she goes in there. It's a little tougher fight because he's got the giant robot thing or all that sort of stuff. And she makes use of the Darksaber. But that still doesn't count as she can seize it because she didn't kill who owned it. I suppose technically if she had killed the eyeball guy, you could say that he owned the Darksaber and now she's the... But they don't really address it, and after a while, Din Djarin just puts it back on his belt, So, but yeah, she makes a short work of the monster, just completely whips its ass. It's a bit over the top, And then he says, I still got to find the mine so I can bathe in the water. So she says, all right, I'll take you right to it. So she does. They go in there, and she's just going on about how it's all just a stupid myth, and it was a childhood fairy tale and all of that, and it was just certain rituals that people did, and you're taking it too seriously, and it's supposed to be based on the legend of the original Mandalore, who fought a mythical creature that lived within the waters, and that's all nonsense. So whatever, but he's still a true believer. So you figure, oh boy, we're going to see Pedro Pascal stripped down. But no, he just takes his belt off and his jetpack and his weapons and stuff, and it bathes in his armor. Maybe that was part of the deal, because the thing of it is, he has to do this because he took his helmet off in front of people. So I guess keep it on as you bathe in the water. So he's going in, he's reciting his pledge and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden, it's like something grabs him and he goes under. So guess what? Bo-Katan's got to save him again, so she dives down in there, deeper and deeper and deeper, and finds him on the bottom. I guess at this point you could say he's still weak from the loss of blood, but boy, I tell you, he's just utterly useless. Because you got Bo-Katan just being Wonder Woman here. So, but the main point of the episode happens in this moment, not because she's saving him and all that, but because as she gets him, and she's using her jetpack, which works underwater as well, and she's going back up to the surface, and then, oh my God, she sees the mythical creature is not a myth, it's real. So she's kind of shaken by this as she comes out of the water. So now Bo-Katan will have to become a true believer, And so that's basically the whole point of it, and this is sort of like a mirror of, or, however you want to put it, an echo or whatever of the Jedi and their belief in the Force and all that. And it's all true and that sort of thing. And certainly in the case of the Mandalorians, there's something to their mystical side as well. So now she, in order to go after him, she had her helmet on because she's got she's got oxygen in it. And now that she's bathed in the waters as well, does this mean Katie Sackhoff cannot take off her helmet for the rest of the series? If she is to be, a true believer now, But anywho, that's the episode. A little too slow than the previous one. It was, trying to develop the mystery and whatnot, but I didn't really feel that it was that successful. They do make better use of the volume room, which is basically all the ruins were, but they knew how to frame it. Of course, ever since Obi-Wan, I'm looking for it now, because of how flat and pathetic it looked when they used it for Obi-Wan. Whereas here, they made use of just the basic framing and whatnot you could use, in the old days of projected backgrounds and stuff like that. And so, of course, they're more capable of that than other crews working on these shows and films. So anyway, that's about it. I wasn't really blown away or wowed by it. So, and it's like the only thing I was, I guess, caught off guard about it. I was, this will lead to something else. I mean, it is, and I don't know where it's going at this point now. So there's that. I guess it's really more Bo-Katan's episode than not. But it's still, albeit very much in tune with pursuing the story of the Mandalorians rather than anything else. Because the last season was a guest star free for all. Battle of the Star Wars All Stars. which was cool, you know, and of course with you-know-who showing up was even better. But this one I was hoping, and I still hope for it, and they would get more delving into the Mandalorian story and all of that. And well, I mean, we'll get some of that. But I hope so. I hope this isn't the end of it. And they'll just, hey, we'll hold that off for something else. I don't, you know. But anyway, there you go. He bathed in the waters, so now he's a Mandalorian again. Once he wakes up and realizes what happened. Well, maybe he and Bo can get together, you know. They're into helmets, you know, so that should help. And little Grogu can now have a mommy. How about that? You know, Daddy was in trouble, went and got mommy. There you go. There you go.